screen displays the Talks with podcast intro. Followed by Ciego Supreme's logo.
Hello, we are back with part
The scene
2
transitions to
with
the lady host.
Niyi Owuade. So Adeniyi
She is dressed
has
in a
been
beautiful
with us,
orange blouse and wears
in
gold and
October,
black braided
when
hair.
we had the Vision Awareness Month, and here we're just simply
She is seated
titling
calmly
this
and poised.
episode Gratitude. Be open, be receptive, and you will see at the end of this episode that, gratitude is all around you. It's in everything you see, it's hidden in your day's activities, and if you dig deep, you would realize that no one should take your joy from you. Stay tuned. God bless.
The Talks with podcast logo is displayed.
Hello, everyone. It's so good to be back.
The scene
again.
transitions to
it's
the lady
Abisoy
host.
Ilana here at the Talks with podcast. As you know, our Instagram handle is at the Talks with Pod, and we're also on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts on the handle the Talks with Podcast. For our October episode, I did say we were coming right back with Niyi Owuade, Adeniyi Owuade, who has become, just one of my favorite people. I feel like I would have him on speed dial when I need a pick-me-up. He was our amiable, amazing guest on the October special episode for Vision Awareness Month. So we're back again, and we've just titled this one Gratitude. I'm grateful for you, Niyi. Thanks for being here.
I promised myself I wasn't going to cry.
Don't
Thanks for
cry. Don't cry. Thank you for honoring us with your presence.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, I would have taken this over the airwaves, maybe on Zoom or something, but that you're here in person is even more special.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So you're VIP to me.
Which one?
You're a very important person to us, to my husband, who, was a classmate all those years ago in secondary school. You're VIP to us, our House of Faith, at the Talks with Pod, but you're also a visually impaired person. So thank you for sharing your beautiful story. We won't belabor that point. We're moving on from that. But we want to get into the juicy stuff, interesting things.
Okay.
So you're married. You've got 2 kids. Talk to me about that. Just tell us, not just me, right?
Okay.
Not just me. Tell us about how you met your wife, because, outside of this episode, you told us that you had a fiance before.
Yeah.
And, so how did she come into your life? And I want to meet her. I want her to be my new best friend.
Yes.
Because she's of resilient spirit. Oh my God.
That's fine. Okay. So, once
The
again,
camera shifts
Abisoy,
to
thank
Ciego,
you
who is
for
comfortably
having me on the
seated.
show. So,
He wears a white short
met my
sleeve round
wife
neck top with a bold black inscription
then,
VIP is VIP.
in 2009.
Wow.
That was about 16 years ago. It was
Yes.
actually on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
So, yeah.
my eyes just got big.
So, I have this friend, or in retrospect, there was a friend of mine who, his own wife was my wife's friend. It sounds a bit convoluted, but
I'm following.
good. So he told me that his cousin was getting married in another state, and he wanted me to attend that wedding, and he wanted me to meet someone.
Wow.
So
In
I
another
was a bit
state in Nigeria.
in Nigeria.
Okay.
I was a bit anxious because I didn't know how she would receive me if
Hmm.
she saw my condition. So we planned it with another colleague of mine,
Yeah.
and we got to the party. I moved so close to this other person
Hmm.
so that no one would know there was anything the matter.
Because you hadn't,
The
you were
scene
not
changes to a
impaired
close-up of the lady
completely at the
host.
time.
I
Not in
was.
2009.
I was. Remember, I
2007.
yeah.
Yes, yes,
So
yes. Mm.
The
we're
scene
at
cuts to a close-up of
we're at
Ciego.
the wedding reception,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
my colleague who was with me was my AI person then. So
Yes, yes.
I was asking, I was like, what does she look
Look
like?
like.
He gave me a thumbs up, even though I couldn't see him. And I said, is she pretty? He said, man, she's beautiful. And I can see
Oh.
my wife is. Although I can't see what she looks like, but I know she's beautiful.
Mm,
People say it, and I know it,
mm, mm,
So one way or the other, I managed to mill around the tables, and I sat next to her. We were talking, and we got talking. We exchanged numbers. Then the touchscreen phones were not very popular then, so
Then.
we had the touchpad phones. I found a way, or had a way of actually memorizing where the keys were. So it wasn't hard for me to dial her number, but I couldn't save it. I just dialed her number so she could save mine.
Yeah.
So we got talking, and at the end of the
Ingenious.
day, at the end of the day, it was time to leave, and you would agree with me. It would be gentlemanly for any man to walk off a lady at least to the door when
Yeah.
she was taking her leave, but I did not.
Oh.
So she I think for a moment, it was later she told me, for a moment she thought about it, and she was like, why wouldn't this guy do that? So she left. And one thing that actually, the first thing that actually kind of captivated me, or that drew me more to her, was the fact that she was very thoughtful, and she called me to find out if I arrived
Homes.
arrived
Safely.
my
You got
base
back
safely.
to your state.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if
The
I
scene
arrived
changes to a
my
close-up
base
of the lady
safely.
host.
So that was the first
The scene cuts to a close-up of Ciego.
attraction. Then we started talking. Now we're talking, and the midnight calls. I think she fell in love with my voice, and
Yes.
and we kicked it off, from there. So now, because I'm a very cheeky person, right? I believe I have a great sense of humor. So because I couldn't tell what she really looked like, so I thought she probably had a large frame, and she was probably of like average height. So I cracked an expensive joke. I asked her if where she sat on the toilet seat her feet swang. So I had noticed she went quiet.
Oh,
So it was later that I asked my friend, I asked if she was a tall person or not. He paused and stuttered. I was like, man, I think you crossed the line, so, but that being said, and after some time, we got talking. She would come to my state, my base, to see me. She would go back, and we started the relationship. And when it was time for us to get married, I went rather dramatic about it.
Did you?
Yes, I did, because I
You went
actually
all
got
out.
someone from a radio station in England to call her, and we had like a candid camera to record the whole thing. So my proposal, everything was on a video CD. I planned it with her boss then, who told her that
Oh, that's
there
beautiful.
was some client who had some, because my wife is an architect, so some client who had or maybe a contractor, someone who had a product to show. So the next thing she saw the slides, the presentation, and all that. The next thing, our phone rang,
Beautiful.
and someone from a radio station in England called her, then said, "Oh, your fiance would like to has a question for you." Then she
Oh,
rushed outside to see me, but I just couldn't go on one knee because it was just very close to the road. So, so that was how.
you compensated for that nicely, I would say.
The scene
Yeah.
changes to
So
a
that was
close up of the
how
lady
So
host.
we
that's
got
how,
married,
yeah,
and
The scene
how you
cuts to a
met
wide
her
shot
and how
showing
you
that's how
both
got
we met
married.
Ciego
and
and the
we got
host.
married.
So obviously, she
The scene changes
she
to a close
already
up of
she
the
met
lady
you
host.
as a VIP.
Yeah.
And did she have any struggles? Was there any part of her that was hesitant? Did she have questions for you like, I really love you, I enjoy being around you, but how do I navigate life with you? Um, were there stern or serious conversations about what her reality would be? Or is she really ethereal? Is she really
The scene cuts to a
otherworldly
wide shot
where
showing both
she's
Ciego
like,
and the host.
no, I just already knew this was my lot.
The scene changes to
And
a close up of the lady
this
host.
is the path I'm meant to follow. And yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Full throttle.
Yeah. So, um, well, my
The scene cuts to a close up of
wife,
Ciego.
we met both as Christians.
Mm,
So, she knew the journey she was
about to embark on.
about to embark on, and we both knew and we both believed that it was a temporary thing.
Hmm.
It's been many years down the line, but I can still tell you it's a temporary thing.
Hmm.
It's not permanent. My condition may be like this for now, but it's not a permanent thing. So one way or the other, she knew it was like that. We both had faith and we both believed that, a miracle was going to happen.
Okay.
So we journeyed along, and she took it. At some point in time, there was a bit of resistance, but I mean, we thank God. Here we are today.
Here we
We're
are.
together. We've had our differences, which is not unusual from what a man and a woman would go through in
course.
any early marriage.
Of course.
So we understood each other over time. The love has grown stronger.
Yay.
We appreciate each other more. We respect each other more.
Mhm.
And of course, you'd agree with me in every relationship, there are boundaries you probably set, and you probably want to say, okay, I'm respecting this. This is what it is, and this is how it is. So that's how it's been with my wife. Summarily, she's always been a Christian. She knew what she was going into. She believed it was just temporary, and things would change. And well, I don't think I've let her down.
Yay. And that question for me stems from a personal
The
experience
scene changes
as
to
well.
a close up of the lady
Without
host.
going into too much of a detail, I mean, we didn't get to a place where we're talking marriage
Yeah.
by any means, but we were getting close, and I, for one, initially thought the condition was something I could handle, just because the care or the feelings for the person was strong, right? So initially it was like, oh no, yeah, we can get through this together and things like that. And eventually it was like, oh my goodness, I don't know that I can manage it. I don't know that I can handle it. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I appreciated when we touched on this very briefly back in October when we had the Vision Awareness Month, was when you talked about your fiance before your wife. You said she's not here to talk about her piece of the narrative.
That's right.
And you don't want to definitely put it on the fact that it was just strictly because of you being a VIP was why she couldn't, or the relationship didn't work. So I think for me, the Talks with Pod, what we try to do is to share a Christian perspective on everyday conversations. I'm sure there are many people out there that maybe someone is an AIDS patient, maybe someone is HIV positive, maybe someone has an incurable disease, whatever that looks like, and they're contemplating, or visual impairment, hearing loss, whatever that looks like, and they're saying, I love this person so much, or I like them so much, or my feelings for them are strong. How can this be my ever after?
Yeah.
Or my forever? And that's why it's important, because, sometimes you're being marginalized even as a bad person because you didn't stick it through with that person, or, so I think that's why it's important to ask the question, to say, is your wife an angel that just said, I'm a Christian, that's it? But to your point and to how you shared it, it sounds like there was still some consideration, maybe not hesitation, but she went in fully aware, completely knowledgeable, and weighing what life would look like for her versus maybe what the norm should have been.
Okay, so let me start by answering that
The scene
question
cuts
with
to a
this
close-up of Ciego.
question.
Yeah.
Have you ever started a program or like a coursework whereby you thought you were going to pull through, and in between you probably got a bit inundated?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
All the time.
yeah. So for her, I probably would
All the
say
time.
when she started, or when we started, she knew what she was going into, but
From the onset.
From the onset, but she probably just did not, know the intricates,
Yeah.
because every day was an experience. For instance, in a regular relationship between a man and a woman, you're probably going on a date. You would expect your partner to drive the car, to probably get to the door, or to probably kind of like, pull your seat for you. But in our own case, it was different. So sometimes some of his experiences could be a bit overwhelming, and just like I said, in every relationship, especially one you've not, experienced before, or one you've not been in before, there are expectations of you
Yeah.
and of the other person.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes when these expectations are not met, you tend to probably kind of like, want to have maybe some an evaluation or a reevaluation of the situation.
And God
all
forbid that it doesn't get to a place of resentment. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So that's just, been the story.
Yeah.
But with time, thank God for his word, thank God for maturity.
Yes.
As we grow older, you learn either from your mistakes or maybe from the Holy Spirit who teaches you how to do things or how not to do things anymore.
Yes.
So I think that's the way it is.
Yes. Yes. Thank
The
you
scene
for
cuts to a
sharing
wide
that,
shot
you
showing
know.
both Ciego and the host.
For those listening, for all the
The scene
listeners,
changes to a
really,
close-up of the lady
Niyi
host.
Owade is on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok, like I already said. Ciego Supreme. Ciego Supreme, Ciego. And the Supreme is spelled Soupreme.
That's right.
So before I segue into, the soup
Yeah.
of the Supreme and the fact that you cook and, the charity behind that as you, that you get into yearly.
Yeah.
What about the kids? How are they with living with dad as a VIP?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's different if that's all they've known, right? You talked about your wife and the fact that when she met you, that was, you were introduced to her like that. So obviously the kids, but are they looking at you and saying, Dad, are you faking it? Is that faking it, especially for someone still as agile as you,
Mm,
still as, you're not so dependent on help,
mm.
right? Am I
That's
right
right.
with
Yeah, you're
right?
right. You're right.
So, moving seamlessly around the house, obviously a familiar environment you've grown used to,
Yeah.
you know, um, sensing or feeling your way, or your impeccable memory, as you just described. Um, but how are they like in? They're a huge component of this, right?
Yeah. Okay, so
The scene
I
cuts
have
to a
a
close up of
14-year-old
Ciego.
daughter, and my son is 11.
Oh,
And I remember,
inquisitive age.
and rebellious too.
Mm,
So
God
now,
forbid in Jesus' name.
no, 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 that was just not in that
Yeah, yeah,
context,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
So, but I remember when my daughter was born.
Mm,
It might be a bit emotional now. Pardon me about that. And when I
sorry.
when my when she was born, I and she was handed to me,
Mm,
I looked at her.
mm,
I tried as much as possible to see if I could see her, but I couldn't.
mm.
And I told God, I said, God, please let me see what she looks like.
Oh,
So and now, while they were growing up, and they probably can, like, at some sort of accountable age, that they're conscious and aware of the situation, they've been wonderful. For instance, my daughter, anytime food was served, my
mm,
daughter would hold my hand and place the cutlery in it.
yeah.
you know if she probably put a glass cup of water, she would guide my hand to it, just to kind of, like,
Mm,
support me
to
in
help
that regard.
navigate, yeah.
And God bless my son, he's the most caring boy I've ever seen.
Mm,
Oh yeah. I had this I have this charity event I that is held every year,
yeah.
and the last one that was held in at the end of summer in England, my son would not eat meat. He would not touch meat.
He doesn't eat it.
No, he doesn't eat meat
Why?
because he got influenced by his sister, who does not eat meat
Is
also.
it?
Yeah. So he stopped eating meat the day he found out that beef came from cow.
Oh,
So,
good for them though.
well, I think it's a bit. Let me digress a bit. I think that's a bit hypocritical,
Oh,
because I'll tell you why.
why?
They eat plants, don't they?
I know.
Do plants have life?
They do.
Do animals have life?
The
I'm a
scene
plant
changes to a
mom.
close up of the
They
lady
they
host.
do have life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah. So
yeah.
if you can take lives of plants,
And we get oxygen from them.
oh really? But you can take the life of a plant. But you think you can't take the life of an animal?
I
So
know.
I think that's a bit hypocritical. Anyway, that's just an
Yeah,
enlightened
yeah,
note.
yeah.
So,
We digress and we move
so
on.
back
We're
to
not judging you guys.
so just talking about my son,
Yeah.
because
You were
he
talking
wouldn't
about
touch
your
the
event.
charity event.
Yeah.
I'm still on that. So he wouldn't touch meat, and
The scene
I
cuts
had
to a
to
close up of
baste
Ciego.
about 200 pieces of chicken wings.
Oh wow.
He saw me. This was about 11 p.m. It was a weekend, and he was helping out. He was like, "Dad, can I have a glove?" He put on one, and he started basting and dabbing the chicken. I
Oh.
felt, so moved. So he's one of the most caring boys I've ever seen. Very thoughtful, and for them, they've learned to accept me as their father. They're proud of me. They're not ashamed
Yay.
to to be seen
Yeah.
with me or even hold me anywhere we
Here
go.
you go.
Unlike you know how kids could be. They probably could get
Absolutely.
embarrassed if
Yes.
their parents are with them,
They're
or
different.
they
Yeah.
kind of.
They
And I
don't
thank
want
God
to
for
be
that.
different. Yeah.
I thank God for that. And sometimes, like you said, because of my stealth and dexterity around the house,
Oh, yes.
they tend to forget that daddy can't see. Sometimes they joke, they be like, "Oh no, daddy's faking it. I know he can see." So so that happens. And of course, it's not like I'm a Superman around the house. No, I'm not. I try my best to be as much as I can be. There have been, a few domestic accidents in the house, maybe bumping into walls. So I had to kind of like, devise different means of cohabitating in the house with them.
Yeah.
For instance, they would leave doors open and the doors would get ajar. I may walk into the door leaf. And so I had to kind of like, do like hand shields to protect myself in case of any obstacle that may be in my way. They probably would leave shoes in the doorway,
Yeah.
or toys and those things, or
Yeah.
anything in the doorway. And so basically, which actually inspired me to do a video on safety tips around the house for a visually impaired person.
Excellent.
Because for instance, if you run your home how you want to run it.
Yes.
But if I visit you, how do you safeguard me?
Right.
Do you get my point? How do you safeguard me? How do you
Yeah.
protect me
Yeah.
from having an accident in your home? So some of these things, this experiences in the house, with them and from them, made me make that video on the channel to kind of like help people living with such conditions and other people that may have members living with that condition. So that's it about my children and
Yeah.
living with them.
Living with them. Thanks for sharing. So staying
The
on the
scene
children
changes to
for
a
a
close up
minute.
of the lady
Yeah.
host.
What jokes or hard time do they give you about being a VIP that you can share? Like, you know how sometimes there may be some stereotypical jokes like, oh shucks, if only you could see that right now. Or what sort of jokes would you allow or have you come to allow over time?
Well, right, I can't.
Because you've said you're a cheeky guy.
Oh yes.
So,
Yeah.
and you did tell us that foot in the mouth incidents you had with your wife early on.
Which one is that?
Yeah, the joke you made with your wife, you were saying about her stature. Remember?
Oh yes.
Yeah. That it's quite expensive, right? So,
But
for
I
someone
didn't
who's,
realize it.
I'm just saying, for someone who's cheeky, admittedly,
Yeah.
right? Cheeky. What have you allowed over time? I mean, yeah.
For my children, there is almost nothing.
The scene cuts to a close up of Ciego.
I don't allow. But one thing I just try to. I can't remember any jokes we've had. Except the fact that, or the part where they say, "Oh, daddy's faking it. I know he can see."
I know he can
that.
see.
So
Yeah.
so that I get that all the time. But one thing I just try to not allow, and what I've trained them is not to make fun of people
Yeah.
or people's conditions. I've trained them not to do that. You don't laugh at people's conditions because it's not their fault. So basically. That's about it. I've trained them and to be sensitive to
Yeah.
such things.
To show empathy.
To show empathy.
Yeah.
So
Which makes them better for it too,
yes,
right?
yeah.
So this episode obviously is about
The scene
gratitude.
changes to a close up of the lady
We've
host.
highlighted gratitude for your wife and just, that strength and support that I'm sure she brings. We've talked briefly about the children and just, how it's the little things, isn't it? your daughter just guiding and helping you navigate dinner time.
Yeah.
Your son helping you, and I'm sure bonding with you at that event.
Yeah.
And I'm sure so many more examples that you can give.
Yeah.
But as we talk about, gratitude, and for the Talks With podcast, its foundation just being Christ-centric, God-based,
Yeah.
what does hope look like for you on any ordinary day, right? Hope is hope is what keeps a child of God, interchangeable for faith, right? Leaves us, keeps us grounded, if you will.
Yeah.
When things are falling apart, it's like the firm foundation that just ensures that you're immovable, unshakable. With being a VIP, what does hope look like for you on any given ordinary day?
Okay. All right. So,
The scene cuts to a
first of
close-up
all,
of Ciego.
when you talked about being grateful and
Yeah.
having gratitude,
Yes.
for
Yes.
me, one of the things that attracted, or what my wife found attractive in me, was my smile,
Oh.
my happy face.
Yeah.
That's me,
That joyful
right?
outlook.
That joyful heart, that joyful outlook.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful to her for all she's done. I'm grateful to her. I'm thankful to the children. And most of all, I'm grateful to God. And that's my secret. I tell people there is no day I wake up, I don't feel like getting out of bed.
Say that a little louder so I can hear you.
There is no
So I
single
can hear
day that I don't feel like getting out of bed. Every day is a bright day for me. Now that sounds a bit paradoxical, isn't it? But every day is a bright day for me. Even when I'm sad, I'm happy. I'm joyful. When I feel sad, because it's ephemeral. It's something that is just it's temporary. It's not real.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not real. So for me, my source of joy and gratitude to God is the fact that I know, irrespective of my condition, He's got my back. And I'll
joy
tell
of
you
the
a few
Lord is your
experiences. That's my strength. I'll tell you a few experiences. A couple of years back, or a few years ago, precisely, I think it was about in 2014. How many years? 11 years ago.
11.
Yeah, we were at a party, and
Yeah.
my daughter was dancing with me. She was just about 2 years old, and she started dragging me to a location which I didn't know. But I sensed danger one way or the other. I knew there was a swimming pool somewhere there. So she pulled me, and I told her, that we should go back to where we came from. So she pulled me back again. I lost a bit of bearing, and
Was she aware at this point that
The scene
you
changes
were
to a close-up of the
VIP?
lady
she was
host.
just 2.
Yeah.
So
just
she
to-
didn't know anything.
No awareness.
So,
Yeah.
So she started pulling me, and
The scene cuts to a close-up
I
of
took a
Ciego.
step. Then I heard someone shout, "Ah!" Now, in a fraction of seconds, at first I didn't know what the "ah" meant until I found out that my foot wasn't stepping on anything. So for a second, I thought I was
You
falling
went
off a
into
cliff.
the pool.
A few seconds later,
You were in
my
water.
foot hit something wet. And that was when it occurred to me I fell in the swimming pool.
Oh, yeah.
So first, gratitude. The pool had water. Right?
Well,
Because
true.
if it didn't have water, that would have been
I get it.
harmful.
Yeah.
The scene changes to a
So-
close-up of the lady
So
host.
I fell in the pool, and
The scene cuts to a
I
close-up of
was
Ciego.
sinking. It was the deep end. The pool was about 8 feet deep. Now I'm 6 feet. So
Oh my goodness.
to tell you, I will go to the bottom of a pool. Now, but because I can swim, right? So I try to kind of like, balance myself and
Life
stay
skill,
afloat,
everyone, swimming. Oh my
you know,
God.
and stay afloat. And so, but that didn't work. Even if you throw a tennis ball in the pool, it first of all will sink before it rises. So I was
Mm.
going down and I realized I couldn't.
Where's your daughter at this point?
I'm coming to that.
Oh, I'm
So,
jumping ahead.
so,
Sorry.
The scene changes to a
so,
close-up of the lady
Mama
host.
bear,
so I
where's the
felt.
baby?
so,
I
so,
care about you, but I'm like, oh my.
so
The scene cuts to a
I
close-up of
I
Ciego.
actually kind of like, got myself to the bottom of a pool and I thrusted myself to get to the surface and try to stay afloat. And I won't say something, I'll say it was the Holy Spirit that nudged me that there was something else in that pool. So I went back to the bottom of the pool. I groped around in the pool and I felt my daughter.
Jesus.
So,
Oh Lord.
yeah, I felt my daughter. I felt for her ankles. I grabbed her by the ankles and I thrusted myself back to the surface and I raised her up. That even if I was going to end it there, I was hoping someone would save her
Save her.
because I was ready to give my life for her. So, fortunately, someone pulled her out and no one pulled me out.
Oh, we love
So-
you, Nee. Sorry.
So I swam to the
We
deck.
do. We know you can handle yourself.
So I swam to the pool deck and I got myself out of the pool. Now, where does this story lead us? Throughout this whole time, I was breathing. You're not gonna believe it. I was underwater and I was breathing, and so was my daughter. Now, some people who probably don't believe in miracles or who probably don't believe in, the hand of God or,
Yes.
would
A
say,
divine
yeah, okay. Someone
intercession.
arguably said, oh, when you go underwater, you can have oxygen to, survive on. Now, that only happens when you inhale. And that's when you're going into the pool. But I didn't know that. So there was no time for me to inhale and hold my breath. So I fell right into the pool. Now, another evidence to show that was when I got out. If you hold your breath for as long as you can, by the time you come out, by the time you exhale, you're going to be gasping. I wasn't. My breath was as steady as
No
it
way.
could be.
No
And so
way.
was my daughter's.
No way.
So to tell you that
Did anyone tell you how long the
The scene
ordeal
changes
went
to a
on
close-up
for?
of the lady host.
No, but
Mm,
The scene cuts to a
with that
close-up of
account,
Ciego.
it probably would have lasted for more than a minute.
of course. Yeah.
Would have lasted for more than a minute. So I don't see how I could have held my breath for over a minute and I would not be gasping when I got out.
Divine.
My daughter wasn't prepared for it too.
Divinely
So that's to
helped.
tell you that, look, irrespective of any situation, any condition, God is there with you.
Mm, mm,
He's there with you.
mm.
So a lot of times I look at every situation. It's nothing really, not even mundane things that probably I just don't worry about anything because I know God has got my back. No matter the situation, I know He's got my back. Oh yeah, I've tested Him over and over again. So I have nothing to worry. I'm very, very grateful. I'm hopeful that irrespective of any situation, God is there.
Divine intervention
Yeah.
right
The
there.
scene changes
The
to a
hand
close-up of the
God
lady host.
rescuing, saving,
Yes.
just helping
You know.
you. But here is the thing, has that always been you though?
Well, that's always been me.
Right.
That's always been me. And that's that I can say that's probably what has actually
The scene
you
cuts
know,
to a
kept
close-up
me.
of Ciego.
That's been what has kept me. I mean, I have every reason to say, oh, to grump and say, oh, I mean, this, that, this, that. No, but no, it changes nothing. It doesn't change who I am. So if I'm probably kind of like, feeling sad or anything, talking about the cooking thing, cooking is like therapy for me.
Well, the halfway mark, I was going to
The
get
scene
to that.
changes to a close-up of the
Before
leading
we get
host.
into that, and I want to, because obviously we're still going to cook.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to cook. So before we get into that, and I'm going to take a chunk of our time to talk about that. How do you then define goodness, right? So we're grateful for God supremely over us all. You're grateful for all of the things He has put in your life, your wife, your kids, I'm sure family, I'm sure, you're a spiritual community. I'm grateful for you, as I'm sure you're grateful for me,
That's
right?
That's
So
right.
there's so many things God has put in your life that makes this gratitude circle complete. So what then does goodness look like to you? And I ask the question for our listeners because, and myself included, goodness is when things are going on. That's our definition of goodness, when it is on our terms. So, I want this and I get it now. Or at least minimal effort, all of the dots are lined up and, I can follow the breadcrumbs, no adversary. I'm right there. Yeah. But we know as Christians, that's, in fact, maybe not even just Christians, in life and the way everyone's story and journey is, it's not always that teed up, if you
Very.
will. So tell us what goodness is now like to you. What is the definition of goodness? And did that definition ever change over time?
You
The
see,
scene cuts to a close-up of
life
Ciego.
itself is a going concern.
Mm.
It's like you start in the business. You know the day you start, but you don't start a business to say, oh, by 31st of October, I'm going to end this business.
Right.
Because it's not this special
Yeah.
what's it called, vehicle project.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the same thing about life. We know there's an end date, but you don't know that very date.
Yeah.
So good and evil, good and bad are all parts of a script. Are all part of a script. Without a trial, you can have a testimony.
Yeah. 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 Without that
So
test.
I
yeah.
mean, you can't be a hero if you've not hit zero. So now, how do we define
What
goodness?
story are you going to share anyway? How did you get there?
The scene changes to a close-up of the leading
No,
host.
I'm just saying I'm supporting
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
How do we extrapolate the mess and get to that place where you have a message to share? I agree.
That's right. So now when you talk about
The scene
goodness,
cuts to a
goodness
close-up of
is
Ciego.
by our definition, by people's definition, is about okay, how well things go,
How well
how
off
you
I
measure
am.
yourself,
Yeah.
or you think, okay, this is what you define as success. These are some of the things that are like facts. But is it the facts we should be looking at, or about the truth?
I like that.
The fact is, I can't see.
Yeah.
But the truth is, I'm living my life.
Yes. Yes.
The truth is, I have joy.
The truth is God is good.
The truth is, God is good.
Oh my God.
And I can testify to that.
Oh, yeah.
So for me,
I like that.
that is goodness.
That is
Goodness is not how well it's going for you. Goodness is actually, how did things go south and how were you able to kind of like, come out of
Come
it?
back. Mm. The facts
If
versus
I've
the
not felt pain
truth.
before, how do I describe pain to you?
Mm.
Or how do I understand how pain feels
Mm-hmm.
if you are feeling it? If I've never felt pain before, I can only imagine it. I can't understand it.
Mm.
So for me, I can have the empathy, have the sympathy, and guide people on how to live life or how to approach life differently, even if something is missing or goes
Yeah,
amiss.
seemingly.
Do you get
yeah.
my point? So how are you able to pull through all of these things and you appreciate the hand of God in your life? That's goodness to me.
That's goodness. Mm.
That's goodness.
And I'm sure,
The
for
scene
the best
changes
of
to a
us,
close-up of
it's
the lady
evolved over
host.
time, right?
Yeah.
And the second half of that question, what for me these days, goodness is just sound mind, peace, clarity on an issue, right? It's not weighed or measured by even the high achievements. And I think over time, you know, that has evolved because goodness meant at some point, oh, it'll be nice to be married. That's how do you get what I
I
mean?
get
So
you, man.
of course we're all on an evolution, and goodness and its definitions will change over time. But I hear you that it's that I'm at peace. It's that I'm alive. Oftentimes we mourn what we don't have, but
Forgetting to
forgetting
celebrate what we have.
what we do have. And that's what I'm hearing from your story. Even before we met, that's just been with everything my husband will say. I'll be like, oh my God, he texted you how? No, seriously. How did he's like, oh, I texted him on WhatsApp. Really? I forget how even technologically advanced the world is. I'm like, really? He's coming on a
Yeah,
plane, of
yeah.
course, and all of this. And he's cooking. How? So let's just jump right in. So
I'm doing grills, barbecues.
yes, to our listeners, Nee cooks. He's enjoyed cooking for many, many years.
That's right.
You said as a young lad, right? You've
Yes,
always,
yeah.
just had the affinity for cooking,
Yeah.
watching those shows. So, we've been talking about Ciego Supreme on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. And we will be cooking and, we'll be posting all of those videos where we started from, the process, and as we devour the delicious meal. But, talk to us about how it started first. It's one thing for you to love it prior to being VIP. And then, when that happened, I'm sure you're like, reset. How does this work again? How do I navigate it? And then just again, embracing that love you've always had and being on the other side of it where you can even cook for a large crowd for charity's sake.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
Okay. So first
The
of
scene
all,
cuts to a close-up of
my
Ciego.
life has always been about giving.
Oh,
Now, if you're talking about giving, it's not just financially.
yeah.
It's about everything. I can
material.
give you a smile, and that
Yes.
smile can change your day. So
Yes.
for me, initially when the whole idea of cooking started, I wanted to make a commercial. But don't get me wrong, I still have that dream. My dream is to, I'm a chef, but I'm not trained. Now, the difference between a chef and a cook follows the recipe, a chef makes that recipe. So
Creates.
I make my recipe, right? But I'm not trained.
Mm.
I have my dream to perfect my skill professionally and own a
Hmm.
restaurant
Hmm.
in England.
Father, we've said this in your ears. The
The scene
Bible
changes to a
says
close up of the
you
lady
will do
host.
that which we've said in your
Amen.
spoken in your ears.
Amen.
Hear this, O Lord, in
Amen.
Jesus'
Amen.
name,
Amen.
amen.
The
So,
scene cuts to a
Mm.
close up of
to the
Mm.
Ciego.
subject,
Yes.
it was meant to be I'm gonna marry this. It was meant to be something commercial.
Yeah.
That was how it started. So I there was my brother-in-law's birthday. I made a good curry, which
Oh, wow.
in this the southern part of Nigeria, what we call asun.
Mm.
Right. I
Mm.
made it. Now, shout out to my friend. His name is Ben. He actually taught me over the phone how to make it,
Oh, wow.
and I did. So that was how I made it. And someone attended the party. He loved it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to place an order for his auntie's 90th birthday.
Wow.
So that was how he started.
Look at that.
I got the
Order.
business registered.
Oh.
Yeah. And he started. So I thought about it that, look, why don't I have an end of summer event?
Mm.
Right? That was how he started. The event started. Then I thought about it. It's not about me.
Mm.
It's about how do I impact the lives of other people. Now, let me not focus about the profit anymore.
Yeah.
How do I give back? Now, I can't reach out to over 1 million people living with visual impairment in the UK. But how do I give back? Through the charity that caters for them. So I had the sophomore event,
Yeah.
which was successful, and the third one, which was even more successful. So for
Wow.
me, it's not just about the profit in it, but it's about how well I can impact lives of other people. I cooked for the first one. I cooked for about 50 people. In 2023, I was on my feet for 30 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Last year I was on my feet for 32 hours. And in August, I cooked for 55 hours. I broke my record. The food preparation, the cleaning up, the cooking. I made 3 menus and 3 drinks.
wow.
I don't just cook. I mix too. I make cocktails. So, and that's where,
Mixologist as well. A
that's right.
barrister as
So,
well.
that's where,
Oh, wow.
ever heard of a saying about when life throws lemons at you?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
The
What
scene
do you
changes
do?
to a
You
close up of the
serve
lady host.
the best lemonade.
I make cocktails.
You make cocktails out of it. Yes, yes.
So that's been it
The
for
scene
me
cuts to a
about,
brilliant.
close-up of
the
Ciego.
cooking thing, just to kind of like,
So it sounds like you create an experience for people.
that's right, create an experience for people. So, but don't get me wrong, they pay for it.
Oh,
But when you parting with their
rightfully so.
money, your money is fine. You're enjoying a good meal, right? Without having to gloat or blow my own horn, I do it very well. And
I'm
when
salivating here. I'm ready.
So when people that get some value for money, and their money is going into a good cause, it gives me joy.
Yeah.
And for me, that's goodness. So you see my point. You see where I started from. I went ended it.
I do.
So
I do.
so that's it for me. That's it.
Coming full circle, and it's the common
scene
thread
changes to a
that
close-up of the
should,
lady host.
guide our lives as well. God help us all. So, even when you spoke about your faith journey, it was like coming in to say, Lord, I'm here to, right? What can you give me? I need something from you.
Yeah.
And then it became, it's really not about that. There was a shift.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing that again, where it's, okay, this is a passion of mine. This is how, I can flip it on its head so that it's, income generating. but also, you know, by paying back
That's right.
The
Impacting
scene
the
cuts
lives
to a
of other
close-up of
people.
of
Ciego.
others as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
The scene changes to a
So,
close-up of the
you
lady
know, Lord
host.
help us. I want to be at one of these end of summer events
I'm sure
too.
you will. I'm sure you will. The next one
Amen.
is next year.
The
So
Next
scene
year,
cuts to
yeah,
a
yeah, I'm sure
the
close-up of
if
next
we can
one.
Ciego.
plan it,
If
then
we, yeah,
you'll be
that's the
around to
goal.
experience
Okay,
it.
that's the goal. So as we wrap up, you know, time flies when you're having fun, as they say. You wouldn't believe it. We're down to 8 minutes.
Are you serious?
Less, yes. I tell you, I can't even believe it. It's like, we need yet another, and I'm sure we'll have more
I'm
opportunities
sure
just
we
to
will.
connect
Yeah.
on the podcast and, you know, just continue to build. So here is a question about you, about family, tie it into, you know, joy, gratitude. How do you and your spouse, right? You first, but obviously you're in partnership for life.
That's
How
right.
do you guard the joy in your marriage, right? How do you guard this joy that even I'm feeling, you know, it's emanating from you, right? How do you guard that joy in your marriage, in your home, you know, and how does it translate to the world around you?
Well, first of all, it's about we talked about expectations, right?
Yes, yes. Boundaries.
Boundaries, there are expectations, there are
Mm-hmm.
things you expect from your spouse or your partner.
Yes.
And if those expectations are not met, rather than make a fuss about it, you can have a conversation.
Mm.
You can have that conversation, and fine. I'm not the perfect being, and
Well,
neither is my wife.
yeah.
But we all strive for perfection, to be better people every day. If I do anything wrong, we can have a conversation. If she does anything wrong, which I probably think it doesn't sit well with me, we can have a conversation. But I would not want to kind of like do anything to make my wife unhappy.
Yeah. At least not intentionally,
Not
right? Yeah,
intentionally.
yeah.
I mean,
That's not the goal.
that's not the
Yeah,
goal.
yeah,
So
yeah.
even if inadvertently I did,
Mm-hmm.
we would have that conversation, and I'm not too proud to say, "Hey, I'm sorry for it." So for me, that's been the rock of
Yeah.
our relationship, having that conversation when either party errs,
Yeah.
or even with my children. Oh yeah, I may scold them. I may scold my children for what they've done wrong, but I'll still have a conversation where I say, hey, I'm sorry I yelled at you, but this is why I yelled at you, because you did something wrong. Are we agreeing that's not going to happen again?
Yeah.
And we both agree.
Yes.
So for me, it's about that understanding, respecting boundaries and knowing how to manage your expectations from and of
One another. Yeah.
one another.
Yeah.
That all keeps it going. It's all fun. At the end of the day, you probably kind of like, you piss me off, I piss you off, you make up,
Yeah. Part of the
it's all part
course,
of the
right?
script.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's part of the script.
The scene changes to a
And,
close-up
you
of the
know, I
lady
have the
host.
answer for that latter question as
Yeah.
well, which is, transmitting it to the world is, from as simple as a smile, right? You,
Let your light shine
So
for
shine.
the world to see.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That smile, I've seen some of your videos where you do, there was one I saw navigating the overground and underground. You did that, right? Online.
At the
The
train
scene
station.
cuts
the
to a
train
close-up of
station.
Ciego.
Yeah.
It's even little things like that.
The scene changes to a
To
close-up of
bring
the lady
awareness
host.
of how you can help or be of support to
all the
a
people,
VIP, right? And it's not just the VIP. I mean, we're highlighting that because that's a fraction of who you are, not your sum total. But, giving back, making sure that someone else's plight in life is an easier one to carry or to manage. Those are some of the ways where you're sharing and extending of yourself. In closing, go freestyle, right? In closing,
Yeah.
freestyle. We've had, just such an amazing time with you, Niyi. Thank you again. Niyi's Instagram handle, no, not Instagram, I'm sorry. Niyi's YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok handle is the same, Ciego Supreme. And at the Talks with Pod is our Instagram handle, and our YouTube, Spotify, and Apple podcast handle is the Talks with Podcast. So I'm yielding to you. You have as much or as little time as you need to just wrap up this gratitude episode.
Okay, so thank you very much.
The scene
once
cuts
again,
to a
I'll be
close-up
saying,
of Ciego.
I've been a great fan of you, and I've watched all your episodes from day one.
Oh,
The
thank
first
you.
one I watched, I didn't even realize it was live.
You said.
So, and I've watched the way you've actually kind of like moderated.
Oh,
It's like you went to school for it. Did you?
unlearned like you, untrained like you with chef,
So thank
with being a chef.
So thanks for having me. And
Thank you,
my
thank you.
parting word is, look, in life, no matter what happens, no one can take your joy unless you give it. Irrespective of anything, it's not the end of the world. If you probably can accept defeat, guess what? It's your loss. I'm not going to take no for an answer. If I do, that means the devil won. Well, he lost 2,000 years ago. So why do I need to give credit to him? So for me, no matter the situation, no matter the circumstance, no matter the condition, it may sound, easier said than
Cliche, yeah,
done, but
yeah.
the truth is, it's possible. It might be hard, but it's possible. I'm just going to encourage anyone who's probably, going through anything. It's not the end of the world. I mean, not yet, literally.
Yes, yes. The world didn't end.
The scene
It was-
changes to a
wasn't it
close-up
meant
of the
to
lady
end, like,
host.
2 weeks ago or a month ago or
So
something. Yeah.
for me, that's just it.
The scene
There's
cuts to a
no
close-up of
day
Ciego.
that I don't, feel happy.
Yeah.
Even when I don't feel like it, I'm just
Yeah.
happy. It's the way the devil can't tell the truth. That's the way I can be sad.
Oh, yeah. So many
The scene
gems right
changes to a
now
close-up of the
in
lady
this
host.
parting words. Oh, my
so
goodness.
that's
So
it.
true. So
All right.
true.
Thank you for having me once again.
The scene
Thank
cuts to
you,
a close-up of
Niyi.
Ciego.
My parting line would be,
The scene changes to
no
a close-up
one
of the lady
should take
host.
our joy.
That's right.
You can take my joy, devil, but replace devil for anything else.
That's right.
You can take my joy, this dry season. You can take my joy, unemployment. You can't take my joy. So stay grateful, enjoy gratitude. It's in everything around you. You can find it everywhere. Thank you, Niyi.
Thank you very much.
See you soon.
Hopefully. Thank you.
Special thanks to the Talks with Podcast.